because I could not think straight. It was so much cloud in my mind that I could not think straight. Anything I touched, I destroyed. Like I don't know where I would be. And it's scary to think, you know what I'm saying, of where I could have been. And it's like, I try not to preach to everybody, but it's the
Nah,
story
you
in
say
the
what you want to say.
it's the story in the Bible about Saul. Remember, he was persecuting Christians, and on the road to Damascus, God put the scales over his eyes. And when I read that story, and it's like, what a blessing for God to have enough grace to put scales on his eyes. And it's like, I hate that I went to prison, but it's like, what a blessing that he has grace, that he allowed something to happen to me for those scales to fall off, because there are people who will die with those scales on their eyes. And it's like, how he loved me that he allowed something to happen to me so that those scales will fall off, because I can't imagine being out there with a reprobate mind, especially like how the world is, not being able to see through the trees. Like, it's just a
You're an
blessing.
incredibly intelligent
Yeah.
woman, like incredibly intelligent, way wiser than the years in which you exist right now. And like you talk to a person that's read the Bible cover to cover 7 times, right? So
Gotta catch up.
no, no. I mean, but I study it on a regular basis because that's the way that's the way by which I live my life, right? My whole life, from my perspective, is a reflection of the things that I advocate for, and I need to be the man that I would want my daughter to marry, right? And
Right.
so that's how I kind of live my life. For you, did you find like-minded people in prison that now is kind of like a reflection of what it is that you communicating to the world, right? Because of course a lot of people is always going to get caught up in the story, but then at the same time the journey is just as important. What do you think about in a general sense some of the people that you interacted with and some of the people that you ran into when you think back at your time and being locked up? What is your impression of those people? Like, is it a and kind of speak to it from the perspective of, do you think that they were similar to you in that their environment failed them? And do you also think that they are just a reflection of the systems by which we exist in, or do you just think that they just naturally bad?
I don't think some people may possibly be naturally bad. Okay, like, but because there's some people out there that you be like, I can't even help you. I can't even try to speak on your behalf.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I think about the people that are in prison, mind you, so before I went to prison, never been incarcerated. Like I told you, like, I had the money, so everybody with me was good, and just like, I've always been a solid person. So, like, if I'm with you, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna always go to bat for you. I'm talking about no matter who it is, when you call, I'm coming. So when I went to prison, I did that time by myself. And it's so hard, like, even now, because I don't really have too many friends. Like, I have people that I communicate with and stuff, but it's like, it affected the way I connect to people. It affected the way I open up to people. That's one thing that I wish I can get back, that I haven't been able to get back yet. But
What is that? What haven't you been able to get back yet?
because you know how you feel like you know a person. Like, I felt like I knew these people, and they left me there, and I had to purge. And it's like, you get to the point where you realize that these people, like, before I went to prison, I would have betted my life, that, oh, if I did go to prison, oh, I know this person gonna be here, I know this person gonna do that, I know this, and it's like, you feel like you know a person. You have all these, like, memories, these bonds you done built, like, things you done been through. Like, I'm talking about, my best friend was my best friend 10 years, like, since like elementary days, and they all left me. And it's hard to process that.
Even now?
It's still hard to process that the role you think you play in people's lives, you don't. The importance you think how important you think you are to a person, you're not. And it's very, very far and few in between that you find a person that will go to the end of the world with you and back. Because out of a million people, I can promise you, you probably get by maybe 100. And it's like, it was a hard pill for me to swallow. So now being out here and trying to, like, communicate with the world is so hard for me, because even when I meet good people, it's like, I thought I knew how to, you know what I'm saying, what discernment was. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I knew.
Yeah.
So with the people that's in prison, I really feel like it's just we all deal with our own strongholds, and the stronger that stronghold has a hold on you, the less you can see, the less you can hear, from your conscience. And it's like the longer you travel down that road, it dims your light.
Yeah.
So when you get down there and you can't see, it's because your light done been dimmed. So I feel like that's anybody, anywhere in the world. I don't think people are just bad. I mean, we all have sin in us, but it's like the longer you ignore that light, it dims. Now, God say He'll never leave you nor forsake you, so it dims. He's still there, but
So let me ask you one more question, because I want to get you home. Like, I don't even want to get you out at the time that I said that I wanted to get you out, simply because I just want to be, you know what I'm saying, a lot more proactive, and I want to make sure you're taken care of.
I appreciate it.
The last thing that I want to mine out is something that you said specifically. And you said that it's hard for you to trust now, right? And you kind of hit on it now, but you talked about it a little bit earlier. When it comes to relationships, right? What is that like, considering the things that you went through, how you suffered as a result of aligning yourself with somebody when you was younger? Maybe what it is that you've experienced with your, I don't know, right? What is life like for you as far as how it is that you determine whether or not you would want to talk to a guy? When were you released? Let me ask you that
In
first.
June
This year?
2020,
I mean, last year?
year before.
Oh, okay.
20.
So you came out essentially to a whole new world.
Yeah,
People
pandemic
probably in
and
the
all.
DMs and everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, and you have a level of popularity, so you're just going to get bigger and you're going to have more visibility. How do you deal with dating? How do you deal with determining whether or not you want to rock with somebody?
Okay, so now I'm in a relationship now.
Nice.
But before, there are a few things like that I'm like, okay, we can work on that. And then there's some flags that are just a hell no for me.
Like what?
First of all, money. I would never date somebody because of their money ever again. So you cannot flash your cash. You cannot be like, oh, I got this yacht over here. Like, you can quit your job. You ain't got to work. Like, that ain't gonna fly. Any person that tries to like attract me with like things and materials, negative. Like,
Just purely based off of what it is that you went
no,
through.
negative. Like, yes. So, that's a flag. I would never be financially dependent on any man ever again in my life. Another thing is a man that does not take care of his kids. I have no respect for that. None whatsoever. Don't tell me, well, you don't know how crazy she is. Or, I don't want to hear none of that. A man that does not take care of his kids is just very unattractive. That is the most unattractive you can be. And it's just certain things, like when I sat in prison and I thought about like the person I wanted to be, the life I want to have, like the woman that I would be, proud of. I just thought about like, what will I accept and what won't I accept, And there's just certain things that it's like, if I got to be single to the day I die, that's just one of them. And like, as far as dating, if I see a flag, I don't ignore it. Like, a lot of people be like, well, maybe that's just, if I see a flag, that's a wrap for you. I don't care how slight the flag is. I don't care, like, because I know how to be by myself. Like, I know how to be alone. Like, I don't need company. Like, I don't need that. So I am perfectly fine missing out on a lot so that I can maintain my peace.